there's F1 drivers are supposed to ready up. It's a little bit of confusing, but anyways. And Tesla got the third from P19 as well. That's the top three in terms of the results. Right, so we're going into qualifying. Thankfully, like in Friday, I have two cups of well, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of I don't flipping know now anymore. Some chocolate, I guess. Chocolate drink, I don't flipping know. Anyways, into one-shot quali. My favorite qualifying, because I am so confused when it all happens. I have absolutely no clue what this gonna be doing. Tarwizi, I don't think he's racing for F1. I don't know. Hold up. Okay, maybe just PlayStation sounds being a little bit weird for myself. I don't know if he's actually racing. I was literally watching my phone, doing all this stuff. It should be a dry race. Is he driving? No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it now. He's not racing. Alright, we go into one-shot qualifying. Already the timer's going. I hate these sprints. Or one part is just a one-shot qualifying. It's just so ass. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, first time that I see one-shot qualifying actually being a thing, but for the drivers it's very tricky as well, because if they invalidate, then their whole race is, or their whole qualifying is over. We're gonna be going with, if I can get him, charldinho. Okay, I'll just go from here, try to flip in, get him what? Can I get him? Oh, there we go. I wanted to get charldinho as we go through the S's with him, the championship contender. Through the S's, John already has retired through the first sector, 25.294. And then there are a load of position changes as his teammate, the reserve, you could say, DC Sessoy. Okay, DC is was in first. Now he's in first with JSTM in P2 and charldinho in P3. And that's now this main straight, the long straight on this track. And charldinho looked like that he has more straight line speed going into turn 12. Chimp he just missed his braking, I guess, and into sector 2. It was I didn't even see it. I can't do these one-shot qualifyings. I can't do these. Now through the triple right-hander, it looks like DC and charldinho are very far off. They're currently looking for a 1-2 at the moment. As charldinho goes through the final corner, Hakaishin currently washed P3. DC should be P1, and he is P1 by 4 tenths. On pole position by 4 tenths, DC is charldinho in P2, Hakaishin P3, JC in P4, Consti P5, Rodan P6, Wave Dre P7, K P8, Dylan P9, Illyrian P10, Kevin P11, Jonathan 12th, Manley 13th, Chip 14th, and then Ryan, Muggy, Jono. They don't make their laps, as well as Zing, but that's what's expected. And then another driver, I think, I don't know. There's some others, but DC 4.5 tenths faster than his teammates. God damn. Could see slight shake-up in the top, because always previously it was mainly between charldinho GSTM, well, not as much recently with JSTM. I guess we were just not having the greatest of paces, and then as well times, or locks, you could say. But then as well Zing. But now we could see another driver being involved in the top. That could be in DC. I'm just gonna call him DC because I can't Sesoy, Kesoy. I don't know. The C is sometimes depends on a language, how you pronounce it. That was from man. Well, one-shot qualifyings are a little bit off. They're a little bit annoying. Okay, now as we go into the sprint, it's gonna be either softs or mediums. It's like 26 laps in here, isn't it? 28? Or is it 29? How many laps are here? Like 28, I think. So that's 1/3. 28. I don't know, like 11, 10, about 9. If it's 28, then 9. Should be. So, if 9, then you could go softs. As we go 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights are out and away we go. No, we don't go yet. So now we go into the sprint race, and Hakaishin gets a slight bad start, at least, of the line, but Charldinho and DC are going side by side going into turn 1, and Charldinho at the end looks to be in front as there are yellow flags behind. That goes GSTM into the wall. No, he didn't go into the wall. He missed it, luckily, but he went very aggressively right as there is contact behind. That's a Red Bull and a AlphaTauri. That's, I think, KA, and no, that's Kevin and Wave, and that's a yellow flag, and that was Kevin behind at the back with Manley. Now Tessa is in the off-road. Wave Drake maybe as well was involved with KA, because KA has already a 3-second time penalty, or some sort of a penalty. What kind of a penalty? 3 second. Only the Alpines have softs. They need to be very quick on these opening laps to get a gap from the cars behind. The rest are in the mediums. Zinker up to P11 from P17 probably, as Dylan and JSTM fight for P6, sorry, P5, and JSTM gets him around the outside into turn 13 and 14. Chimp is trying to overtake Dylan there as well, as Chimp, didn't he start like P16 or something? G-Bone on the exit of turn 14 spins, and that caused a full course safety car, which doesn't play out amazingly for the Alpines, as they're already getting a gap behind them, but still somewhat plays out very nice for them, because they get their tires are going to be lasting longer. Now going to the position changes, goodness me, Chimp from P14 to P7, Gabby from P18 to P9, Zinc from P18, no, wait, 16, sorry, Gabby from P16 up to P9, Zinc from P18 to P10, Jono from P17 to P11, Roder from 6 down to 12, and then KA from 7th place, that's 8, from 8th down to 15th. Wave from, Tessa tries to overtake Wave, and Wave is ahead, but then Menley as well tries to get ahead, but Wave still from P5. Is that P5? No, sorry. Oh wait, is that P7 then? I think that's P7. From P7 down to P16. Yeah, it's P7. From P7 down to P16. So a load of shakeups. The only driver who has stayed in his position is Hakaishin. Well, of course, G-Bon, but he's out of the race. Wave J joins back in. So yeah. A big shake-up. Ooh, Charldinho has been not DSQ'd, but just disconnected. I don't think I have him in my friends, though. I don't think I have him, my friends. I doubt it. Just checking real quick. Yeah, no, I don't have him. I don't have him, so I can't invite him. But the championship contender and the race, or the sprint leader at the moment, sprint race leader, has been disconnected. Is that I mean, it could be as well for the PlayStation drivers that the lag is in you just can't deal with it. Well, we as PlayStation drivers, we just have to deal with it. Unfortunately, we can't do anything. As most of the drivers here are on PlayStation. Kevin, Menley, Wave, KA, Jonathan, Jono, Zing, Gabby, Illyrian, Chimp, Dylan, JSTM, Hakaishin, and charldinho, which makes it, well, a big chunk of drivers on the PlayStation, as well for the F2, I think. Then there are some that are on PC, which are DC, Roadrunner. No, Roadrunner is on Xbox. DC is the only one who is at the moment on PC, and then the rest. The rest is on the Xbox. How can you be so unlucky? Oh my goodness. Well, that is a big turnaround for Zinc and for charldinho. I mean, a big turnaround for everyone behind. Biggest is for Zinc, because at Zinc knew that he was going to be getting outscored by charldinho in the sprint race, and possibly in the main race, from being sixth kind as that. But now charldinho has been disconnected again. Now he's just joined back in, of course, but his car has been DNF'd, has been retired. He's gonna be, of course, fuming. I mean, I understand him being fuming. I mean, everyone would be fuming. You're leading the sprint race under the safety car. You get disconnected twice, and then from the second time, your car just gets retired because of the game. I mean, everyone would be fuming at that. Okay, DC is leading the course, or the pack. Going into the final corner, where's he going to be going? Is he going now, or is he going to be going on the exit of the final corner? Yes, he is going to be on the exit of the final corner. He gets a very good exit, and we're back at racing. The green flags are already waving, and now everyone can overtake each other. This is, of course, a good news for Zing, because he just needs to overtake pretty much everyone ahead that he can, and he's gonna be outscoring charldinho and possibly as well outscoring him in the main race, where you get the biggest chunk of points in this sport. In the sport, I mean, it's we don't, I mean, whatever. It is still the F1 game copy, which again it doesn't really matter. Menley behind has spun round in the S's. As Zink is already close behind Gabby, who's trying to make a move on Illyrian, but it's just too far back to think of an overtake. And now to this main straight, behind Jono, spun round on the exit of turn 11, and he retires and leaves the session. His race is as well gone. Good start to the race, but just again now, Jono is just super unlucky, I guess, as Illyrian gets overtaken by 2 drives, maybe even 3 going into turn 30 and 14, and now into 15. Is he going to get overtaken right outside by Roadrunner? No, he isn't. To the inside, Roadrunner tries to go, but Illyrian doesn't leave that much space, although Roadrunner was barely in there, to be fair. And Zink is up into point paying position. Point, because that's Ryan off track going on the exit of turn 19 in the background, and that's him down to P15. This man just, well, lost it on the exit of turn 19 and he's down to P15. Zink, he's already in the point-paying position, not points. Well, points, yeah, but if he overtakes Gabby, then it's going to be points. But he's at the moment getting 1 point from the sprint race. Going through the SS, he's right behind Gabby's gearbox. Right behind him, he's going to be trying to overtake him, of course, going on the exit of turn 11 and going into turn 12, which is the massive straight on this track. DC is 8 cents ahead of Hakaishin. The DRS hasn't been yet enabled, I don't think. No, it isn't. And DC has 100% of ERS, while Hakaishin has less than 40. Goodness me, DC is just chilling out here in front. JCM tries to go on the move on Consti, and Consti just lets him through just like that, going into turn 12, and JCM is up to P13. In the meantime, Illyrian is fighting with Roadrunner, but Illyrian keeps his P9 for now. Zink didn't overtake Gabby going into turn 12, as Illyrian and Roadrunner again, they're scrabbling for that P9, this time going through the triple right-hander, and Illyrian, of course, on the inside, he's gonna be, well, faster through there. Going through the final corner, the DRS has been enabled as DC crosses the line and starts lap 6 out of 10. JCM is already 1.5 seconds behind Hakaishin as Zink tries to look for a move on Gabby into turn 1, but he doesn't risk it. He just wants to, I guess, stay behind or something. Roadrunner is still fighting with Illyrian for that P9 position, but Illyrian is just so slow now going through the S's. He just can't overtake him. Illyrian is like 2 meters wide, or sorry, 3 meters wide, you could say, trying to make that Mercedes as wide as possible. As now he gets a very good exit of those S's, second part of S's. Hakaishin, does he have the DRS on DC? I think he has. Yes, he does have, but DC again has 100% of ERS. He's just absolutely chilling out here in the front. Meanwhile, Consti, well, this big DRS train in front is trying to look for opportunities to overtake maybe someone, but it doesn't look like it. In the back, Wave and Jonathan go wide, and there is contact between them. And Jonathan, well, spins Wave Dre, but you could say as well, well, I didn't see it from my POV, what happened between them. Maybe Wave Dre didn't leave enough space for Jonathan, or Jonathan just turned in on Wave and they went off track, and that's, we can only speculate from my point of view. From their point of view, it's going to be more clear later on for the FIAs. Zink still not thinking about an overtake on Gabby, because he sees that Gabby has a very low amount of ERS, the same chimp compared to Zink. Dylan has Dylan has 50% of ERS. Consti doesn't have the greatest amount of ERS compared to JCM, who has 40% of ERS. Hakaishin, well, cuts to one of the DS's. Is going to be trying to get DC. Oh, that was just lag. Although he still went wide through the S's, and that is beautiful for DC, who still doesn't use his ERS. It just seems like his ERS button is just stuck at being off. He just doesn't care. He isn't using any of it, and he's just chilling up front. Meanwhile, Wave retires as presses the button, so it's not going to be a safety car. Consti overtakes Dylan, and Zink overtakes Gabby into turn 12. Important overtake for Zink, although Gabby is still around the outside. But now Zink is through, going on the exit of turn 13. 12, sorry, as Consti and Dylan as well fight for P4, but now Dylan has to watch out from Chimp from behind. But Dylan is safely through. He doesn't really need to now think about it, although Chimp is still close, but not yet as much through 19 and 20. It's not really wise to overtake unless it's for the final lap, or you're just overtaking a very, very slow driver up in front. I mean, the driver who you are on the fresh softs, and the car in front is on the old hards, then maybe, but other than that, it's not really wise, as Jonathan spins on the exit of the final corner, causing yellow flags. But I don't think it's going to be even a safety car at this point, even if he retires on purpose on track. Let me just see if he's going to break into turn 1. Yes, he is. Illyrian gets a 3-second time penalty, as well as Gabby gets a 3-second time penalty. Consti has as well a 3-second time penalty that he got earlier. So it's going to be benefiting Zing because he is within that zone, 3-second zone. He doesn't know that yet, unless he listens to the stream, then yes. But if he doesn't, then he doesn't know that Consti has a 3-second time penalty, also, unless he communicates with JCM. Then he knows, of course. Yellow flags, that's still Jonathan. Sorry, Dylan tries to go for an overtake on Consti into turn 12, and he does make it successful. Consti maybe tried to overtake here on your side, and now at least Zink definitely knows that Consti has a 3-second time penalty, so now he doesn't. Well, of course he can overtake Chimp, but there was contact between Zink and Chimp, but he's through safely. Gabby gets overtaken by Illyrian as Jonathan is causing massively yellow flags, and here he's just having a massive skill issue. I mean, his tires are cooked. They are cooked. Literally. They are well done, you could say. DC is still no ERS usage. He doesn't care. He's just racing. He's just there. Caution is still within that 1 second, but not for much longer. It's gonna be Consti right behind Dylan's ass. As 3 seconds are awarded for Consti yet again. He needs to watch out for those 3 seconds in the race, because he's gonna be absolutely cooked. Or cooked. Well, he's gonna be dropping down to P15 or last position at this point. As Zink is right behind Chimp's ass. Again, yellow flags caused by Jonathan as he goes straight ahead into turn. Damages his front wing. He's probably gonna be trying to take himself out. Maybe Zink not really catching to Chimp. He is using his ERS. He's gonna send it into turn 12. He tried. He sees an opportunity, a space, and around the outside of turn 13 now he tries to literally contact between them, but Chimp stays ahead of Zink, going through turn 14 and 15. Meanwhile, Consti tried to go for an overtake on Dylan, but that didn't work. Hekaijan is still trying to get to the DRS on DC, but DC he just doesn't get really at this point. Hekaijan, no, that was Jonathan just letting through drivers. I don't understand why is he not going to the pits. He has no front wing. Anyways, the final lap of the race starts now, and DC is nicely up ahead as Zink sends it on Chimp going into turn 1. It's a crucial overtake, but he spins Consti yet again! Yet again he spins Consti. Last time out it was in Mexico. Now this time it's in USA, Texas, and it's in... How do you spin the same driver in the 2 different races? I mean, it is a sprint race, but it's still it's still a race. Sprint race. How do you spin the same guy 2 different races in a row? And he's gonna be probably getting a penalty off of that, which could send him down the order outside of the points, which is gonna be good for Charldinho as up ahead. GSC Motor takes Hekaijan into turn 12. In the meantime, behind Zink tries to go around the side of Illyrian as well. Rodon tries to take Chimp into turn 12. Chimp gets him ahead though with a switcheroo because Rodon went wide. Now Illyrian and Zink side by side into turn 12. 15, sorry. Illyrian went into the back of Rodon a little bit, and Zink has to stay behind for P8. In front, DC through the final corner. He has done nothing wrong, just chilling in front, and he wins the USA sprint race, takes pole position for the main race. JSM P2, Hekaijan P3, Dylan P4, Chimp P5, Rodon P6, Zink P7, with a potential penalty coming up. Illyrian P8, Gabby P9, Tessa P10, Consti P11, KA P12, Ryan P13, Menley P14, and then Jonathan P15. And then Wave 16th, Jono 17th, Charldinho 18th, G-Bone 19th, and Kevin 20th. Oh boy, already we got good racing, and as well some, well, not really dirty, but just a little bit of contact in the sprint race. Zing drove today apparently with the game. Just check the results. I mean, he came from P18 to P7, and he drove a very good race up until he hit Consti. So you can't take away that. Tessa as well from literally last to P10. Gabby from P16 to P9, and then Shimp from P14 to P5. But there's all DC from P1 to P1. I mean, you can't really give him that, but with these, what they did in front, I would give, to be fair, to Zink. He could have gotten a lot better, but unfortunately he's going to get a penalty probably. If Consti is going to be trying to should be going shortly. Should be. Actually, I think no one missed their setup. Well, besides Kevin, as we got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights are out, and away we go now. And DC doesn't get a good start again of the line. Yes, he does, but Hikaishin gets a very good start as well of the line. And DC going into turn 1, JSTM's on the inside, on the left of him. He's still there, And JSTM now lost it on the exit, and now he's dropping down to P5. As Zink is dropping down to P10, yellow flags behind. That's a whole lot of incident, and that's Charldinho being involved in there. Charldinho involved in an incident down to P17, and that's as Illyrian spun with that Roadrunner spun with him as well. Hikaishin takes over the lead of the race at this point of the race into turn 11, but DC is gonna try and overtake him into turn 12. He's on the right, he's gonna be trying to think an overtake on the outside. Chimp is gonna be trying to go for the 3 wide going into turn 12. He doesn't want to think about it because behind Dylan is pushing him. And Hikaishin remains our race leader going through turn 13 and 14. And DC again with the horse as he's getting sent by DC. Chimp going into turn 15, but he's still ahead of Chimp going through the triple right-hander. Meanwhile, his teammate is absolutely in the worst position that he could be as well. I think he has front wing damage, I think. Yes, he does have, which is basically the reverse. What it's literally tables have turned. Zink has earlier the worst part, and now his savior is Jonathan because he goes a full cross safety car with him missing a whole front wing. G-Born goes into bits with the same with Charldinho, so he's not actually that well in a bad situation. He's still in a bad situation because, well, he's down the order in P17. So he's gonna have to overtake the cars in front, but at least he's gonna be closer to the field now with the safety car being out. Most of the guys are in the mediums. The only guys who are on the hards or the other compound are DC and KA who are on the hards, and then Tessa and Illyrian who are on the softs. So both of the messages are on the softs. That's all. G-Bone and Charldinho are in the hards, but now they've switched to the mediums. Interesting as well. Lap 1. Lap 2, well, of course, it's being interrupted by a safety car caused by Jonathan. Hopefully it's not going to be a restart again. We're going to be again waiting for like 15 minutes. Or not 15, maybe 10 minutes it was. I don't remember. 10 minutes probably was. to make the lobby and that. Carson is leading the way, so it's gonna be, well, unless he pits, then he's gonna be restarting the race, restarting the pack when the safety car is gonna be going in, but not yet because we're still in lap 2 and behind the safety car we still haven't completed a single lap. Is DC gonna be going to the pits? No, he isn't. Hakaishin thought about it. DC is actually going to the pits. He's actually remaking a strategy that he tried to do in the first race. He's actually doing his part again, going into race 2, you could say. Pitting for the mediums. Illyrian is going to be as well, probably going to be going for the mediums. Same with Ryan and Jonathan who pitted. Jonathan as well as, of course, fronting damage. Ryan pitting for mediums. Yeah, everyone who pitted went for the mediums. At this point on, they're thinking about pitting twice for the mediums. So it's the first time. Then it's going to be the second time for the mediums. They're thinking about it probably. Which is, I mean, it's a good compromise, you could say, for DC. He knows that he has the pace, but is he gonna get lucky with the drivers not hitting him, basically not spinning him or causing any damage? That's gonna be another thing, because you need a slight bit of luck as well to not being involved in any of the incidents and getting yourself crashed out or getting overall damage somewhere. That's one thing as well. You need to be fast, but as well you need a slight bit of luck to get through them as well. And as well you need opportunities, because if, well, Monaco, you just need to, you really need a good the driver you're racing ahead really needs to make a mistake somewhere for you to overtake someone, really. That's the thing. But here in Austin it's very wide open, so you can easily overtake anyone. You gotta go 4 wide into 12 if you really want it. Although the track does tighten up on the exit and on the apex, but on the entry you can go 4 wide if you really want. Maybe if you squeeze in, you could go 5 wide on the entry, but on the exit it's gonna be a slight difficult job to get everyone through, because of course the first one on the right and probably the car furthest on the left doesn't realize that there are 3 cars in the middle. And then as well the car in the middle doesn't realize that there are so many cars around him, and it just, for everyone, it just causes blind spots, and then it's probably gonna be one big clown show, or a clown show slash mess. It's just gonna be a one big mess. There's all the cars behind probably, but I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to go 5 wide into there. I don't think it has ever happened going 5 wide anyway. There are instances going 4 wide. 3 wide are already rare. 4 wide are already flipping rare. You almost never see them. 5 wide, I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere. 5 wide, never. Never. Because there are so little tracks that you can go 5 wide. If you're really precise, you could maybe fit 6 wide even. Maybe even if you're gonna be, if all the drivers are gonna be really precise, then maybe even 6 wide on the straight. Maybe not into 12 anymore, but just overall on the straight. If you're gonna be really precise, then maybe 6 wide even. Safety car on his lap. 7 wide. I don't think there's even a track that you're gonna fit 7 wide. On track, not off track. Well, in France you could fit the whole flip in France you could fit the whole grid side by side. In probably like the fast right-hander, which is turn 10. On the exit there, and then as well on the right, there's a lot of runoff. Safety car in his lap anyways. Hikoshin is going to be leading the pack, leading the way. He's going to be picking his restart points probably on the exit of this corner of turn 19. Yes, he is going already on the exit of turn 19. He didn't get a really good exit of turn 19. Tries still can't overtake into turn 20. Yes, Consti already hits the back of GSTM on the exit, and Consti is now ahead of GSTM, although he probably gets an illegal. That's why he needs to lift off, but then Consti is going to get him back into turn 1 on the inside, and Consti is ahead of JSTM. Gabby is going to be trying to as well overtake JSTM, going into the S's, and he's ahead of JSTM, so JSTM all of a sudden loses 2 pitches at once, just because Consti hit his rear on the exit of the final corner. DC is going to be trying, of course, already overtake drivers as quickly as possible, because he really needs it. Everyone ahead needs to go for a pit stop. The same with him, and his tires are not going to be quicker or that much quicker at this point on, as he sends out Kevin into turn 11 for P11. And is he going to be ahead? Well, he's drag racing him into turn 12. As in the lead, Dylan and Akashi and Shimp fighting it all for P1 on lap 5. Dylan is ahead, Shimp is ahead of Hikoshin, and Hikoshin loses 2 pitches at once going into turn 12. Meantime, there's a little bit more, but DC is ahead of Kevin, as Kevin loses as well a position to Illyrian. DC is trying to take KA into turn 50, and he does it as well successfully on the outside of KA. Illyrian is going to be trying to overtake him as well. KA loses a little bit on the exit, and Illyrian as well overtakes KA into turn 19. Yeah, Charldinho is up to P15 already. G-Bone is overtaking Kevin on the exit on the final corner already so easily. Charldinho is going to be looking for an overtake on Kevin as well into turn 1. Is he going to send it? Yes, he does. Does he hit G-Bone? No, he isn't. He's far from hitting him. And Charldinho gets P14. G-Bone goes wide on the exit of turn 1. But Charldinho's too far back to even think of an overtaking maneuver or go side by side into the S's. So he's stuck behind G-Bone and KA through the S's. KA not being the fastest drivers on the grid, and as well with the hard compound of tires, which isn't great, and they're already losing 1.2 seconds to Illyrian. Already, just like that, G-Bone sends it into turn 11 on KA, and he's going to be ahead, although KA might get a switcheroo on him. He's side by side with him still. Charldinho might be trying to get involved with himself in that. It's going to be a 3 wide going into turn 12. KA gets eaten by both on the countback. And G-Bone and Charldinho side by side going into turn 12 for P12. And now a little bit of contact on the exit. And there's a little bit of contact, and Charldinho spins G-Bone into turn 13. And G-Bone is sideways, and he's lost. Now down to P17. Jonathan sends it, Ryan sends it on Jonathan going through 15 for the overtake on P15. But Jonathan is still ahead. Meanwhile, at the front, Chimp is still leading the pack in P1 with 410. The DRS has been enabled on lap 7. Zink close behind Tessa. Tessa with those sauces is not going to be rapid as much anymore, as already have a little worn out. Zink is right behind Tessa's sauce, but he just can't overtake him yet into the S's. He's going to have to settle back down and just watch Tessa behind to watch his ass. Really going through the S's. He's gonna lose a little bit of time. Is Tessa gonna have the DRS on Consti? It doesn't look like it. No, he isn't. Zink is gonna have the DRS on Tessa. Tessa might have the DRS maybe back. I don't think he's gonna have it though. I don't think he's gonna have the DRS. But anyways, Zink is gonna be easily overtaking him. Tessa doesn't have the DRS, and Zink easily overtakes him on this main straight. Is JSTM going to be close enough to think on overtake? If he sends it from a long way back, he sends it, looks for an overtake, but he hits Tessa, causes contact, causes a load of mayhem. DC getting slightly involved in that, but you could say as well. But this promotes charldinho up into P10 from like what, P15, P14, somewhere there. This, which, well, if you really want to think it's in a dirty way that JCM did that on purpose for Tesla, so that charldinho is gonna maybe get some damage or something. If you wanna really think about that, then well, it failed. But I don't think even like that as TCO takes Illyrian into turn on easy with the DRS and probably usage of the ERS. And he's ahead of Illyrian now. He's right behind Roadrunner, who's 2.5 seconds behind Zinc. He's lost a lot of time to Zinc. DC is of course going to be right behind Zaz. He has got 2 lap better mediums, and just DC is a lot faster than Roadrunner at this point on. charldinho as well right behind Illyrian, but he just can't get him yet. Illyrian is of course going to have the DRS on the car ahead, which is DC and of course Roadrunner, if even DC wouldn't have been there. Illyrian is slight tap on DC's rear, but DC is gonna easily overtake Roadrunner on this straight. A little bit of contact there, but DC is of course gonna be easily ahead. Roadrunner tries to defend himself with the ERS with against Illyrian into turn 12, side by side, 3-1 even in there. charldinho on the outside overtakes Roadrunner off track, but Roadrunner was as well off track, but he gives the position back to Roadrunner into P9, and GSTM spins on the exit of turn 14. The driver who was somewhat meant to help Zinc, he actually helps Zinc. charldinho, he actually helps charldinho because he got the contact between him and Tesla, and charldinho is as well out of Roadrunner. He goes to contact between him and Tesla, and well, charldinho actually got through as Consti gets overtaken by Zinc. This time these two don't make contact like they did in the sprint race and in Mexico in the main race. There was one race, to be fair. In the meantime, in the front, there is a very good chance for Aston Martin to score big points as Chimp is in the lead. Dylan P2, Moggy P3, as Gabby in P3, but now he gets a 3-second, so it's gonna be demoting him at the moment down to P6. Hakashi P4, Zinc P5, Consti P6. DC catching up to Consti, trying to catch up, but he just a little bit too far, but he's going to be getting attacked by Illyrian going into turn 12 probably. Illyrian of course is deploying his ERS, you can see with the ERS, not anymore ERS, but he's going to be deploying it easily, and he's going to be ahead of DC into turn 12. In the meantime, Dylan is ahead of Chimp going through turn 12 as well. Illyrian is ahead of Consti, DC into P12, and he's up at turn 12, and he's up into P7. Oh, Illyrian a little bit out of shape going through turn 14, is scaring himself a little bit, and as well myself a little bit there, but he's still ahead. Tesla now spins or causes yellow flags through turn 15. Some stuff between him, Ryan, Jonathan, and then G-Bone getting involved as well as he spins on the exit of turn 16, 17. Hits the wall, probably has wing damage. A little bit of lag there was, but he's definitely, well, he probably tried to overtake Tesla, but it didn't work, clearly. It clearly didn't work. In the meantime, charldinho and DC are close behind on Illyrian. He's going to be, of course, trying to catch up to Consti and Zinc as quickly as possible. To within that 1 second. Zinc is within that 1 second of Akaishin, and within the 3 second of Gabby. So at the moment, Zinc is in P4, virtually in P4. Jonathan gets a 3 seconds probably as well on lap 10. Zinc is right behind Hakaishin, who just about has the DRS. I think he's just about having the slipstream, but it's slightest of slipstreams. In the meantime, Zinc is going to have this big slipstream from Hakaishin, but Hakaishin just having better speed, I guess. I mean, use a little bit of his ERS, but he's still anyways ahead of Zinc. In the meanwhile, at the top, Dylan goes off track. Is Chimp gonna try and capitalize on that around the outside of turn 13? Yes, he is around the outside of turn 13 and into 14 on the inside of turn 15. And he makes a beautiful move into turn 14. And he finishes it into turn 15, being nicely ahead. Gabby watched it nicely behind him and couldn't capitalize on it, unfortunately, but still Chimp is up into P1. He retakes the race lead from Dylan through turn 14, and that was a very good overtake by Chimp. Of course, this loses a little bit of time to the cars behind, and Illyrian has a DRS on Consti now, so the top 9 is within that DRS. Everyone can fight each other as Dylan tries to overtake Dylan tries to overtake Chimp into turn 1, but he got switched back now. Chimp lost it on the exit of turn 1, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. He's gonna be, of course, trying to get that removed as quickly as possible. Even if he gets a 6 seconds, he's gonna be trying to get it removed because, well, he lost the car and he just went off with the just like that. Consti gets as well a 3-second time penalty. Zink right behind Hekashin's ass into turn 11. Gabby is, of course, flashing. He doesn't like the ERS saving part of the racing. Chimp didn't get the greatest of exits out of turn 11, and Dylan is going to be, of course, overtaking Chimp into turn 12. Well, easily before turn 12. Behind, is there any gonna be battles? Lyrian tries to go send it on Consti, and he sends it as well, and Hakaishin and Zink hits Hakaishin, and he spins on the into turn 12, just clearly outbreaks himself, and charldinho is fighting Consti into turn 15 now, and is he gonna be up into P6? No, it doesn't look like it. No, he's gonna be staying P7, but he's ahead of some teammates, DC. In the meantime, Zink tries to go around the outside of Hakaishin into turn 19. They're still side by side. It clearly doesn't work for them, as Zink loses it on the exit of turn 19, and he's right behind his championship road teammate, but he is now back ahead. What the hell is going on? Zink doesn't have the DRS, while the two Alpines, the two Frenchies, have the DRS, and charldinho, all of a sudden, from the back of the grid, is ahead of the championship rival Zink, going into turn 2. DC tries to as well get ahead of himself of Zink, but he has to stay behind charldinho. What a comeback on lap 12 to P6. All this stuff, being unlucky on lap 1, but he's getting now lucky all the way through with, well, almost everything at this point on. With everyone's unlucky, he just goes through everyone and says bye bye and or somewhat bye bye and just or just hey, let me go through, and he just passes them. Although the overtake on Zink wasn't as easy. charldinho is going to be trying to overtake Consti Hekaishin into turn 12 as well. At the same time, Consti focusing on Hekaishin. charldinho is ahead of Consti, and he's going to be ahead of Hekaishin as well. He's up into P4 as Consti is still trying to be around the outside, but charldinho is up into P4 from P6 all of a sudden. Consti tries to send it back, but Consti just doesn't have enough room in there to really think on overtake. Zink is up into P6. Hekaishin lost like what, 4 positions at one go for DC, Consti and charldinho, and Zink and Consti again. What is happening between Consti and Zink? They just can't get themselves out of them. They're constantly hitting at least one time in the races. What is happening between Zink and Consti? They're like magnets, but in a bad way. They're constantly hitting each other. Or just at least one time in the race. Mexico, USA sprint here, and then now in the main race. What the hell is happening between them? Well, there was definitely contact between Zink and Consti. Consti went into the pits. DC got a slightly involved in the end as well. Hopefully he doesn't have wing damage. Zink, I don't think he has the front DRS. charldinho definitely doesn't have the DRS. So does Zink have the DRS? No, he doesn't. Neither DC has. So all of the 3 drivers have no DRS. Gabby's gonna be, well, getting himself out of the slipstream on Chimp. he needs to think about saving ERS, really, honestly. Or thinking about saving ERS, or learning that skill, because he has no ERS, he just uses it all the time. Just can't, it's just not sustainable at that, like that. At the moment, Charldinho and Zinc, Charldinho at least is in virtually P2. I don't think Zinc is gonna be virtually P3, he's gonna be virtually P4. Because Chimp is just ahead, but one of the Aston is that Chimp into the pits, making his first pit stop, and the only one probably. DC as well goes into the pits. So the two championship riders go up to P3 and P4. Charldinho still doesn't have the DRS on Gabby, but if he uses a tiny bit more of his DRS, he's gonna of course get it. But Gabby's right behind Dylan's DRS, so he really needs to get that DRS. As well, with Ryan and JCM pitting with DC and who was it? Consti. No, Consti is back in the pits again. So who was it with? Chimp, sorry, Chimp. So bottom 8 has pitted, while the top 7 hasn't pitted, aka being on the old hards. Charldinho, I think he has the DRS on Gabby. Yes, he does. Zinc doesn't have the DRS on Charldinho, which is beautiful for Charldinho. He could be pitting this lap, so that's well, it's I think better to pit for hards. And the point on. By the way, DC went back to his hards, so he's not going for mediums. He's going to the hards, which makes his strategies just being absolutely dumb. You could say Cage overtakes Jonathan into turn 12 as he tries, so Jonathan is still on the outside, and he's going now on the inside of turn 13, and now 14, side by side still, but not anymore. Cage is going to be sending it into turn 15. Jonathan gets a very bad switcheroo. I was going to say good switcheroo, but he just completely binned it as the top 3 besides Charldinho pit. Dylan and Gabby went for the pits, as well as Zinc. Charldinho is still out there. He is praying for a safety car and probably going for the softs. Probably. Illyrian as well staying out. Jonathan getting another 3 seconds on penalty. So it's going to be very interesting what is going to be happening as K gets overtaken by Chimp going into turn 1. Dylan is behind Roadrunner. Jonathan retires in the pits. So no safety car probably. Gabby gets overtaken by Hekaishin on the exit of turn 1. So the undercut did work for Hekaishin and Roadrunner as well, because he's in net P2 currently. Zinc behind DC. So again, the undercut worked as well for DC, because DC is was like what, 1 second behind Zinc. Now he's 2 seconds out of Zinc, which is absolutely beautiful for DC. And Charldinho is going to be going for the softs, I think, at this point on. Then, you never know. Roadrunner overtakes KA on the exit of turn 11. Dylan as well is going to be overtaking him on the straight. Is Hekaishin going to be trying to overtake him as well? Is he going to send it from a long way back? No, he isn't. Gabby tries to overtake Hekaishin on the exit of turn 12, which Hekaishin does that. And he's ahead of KA. The same with Gabby. KA just absolutely has no pace. DC as well gets him on the exit of turn 14. KA just making, I guess, the worst strategy decisions, I think. And Illyrian stays out. Charldinho goes into the pits. What is he going to be pitting for softs? For another set of mediums. Oh yeah, because he was on the first stint on the hards, which makes sense. That's what I was thinking that DC was going to be doing. And Charldinho, he's going to be rejoining right behind his teammates and ahead of Zinc. This strategy for Charldinho is working wonders at the moment. He's in the touching distance somewhat to Chimp. He just has to overtake the cars in front and not give Zinc the DRS as well. Well, he needs to, of course, well, not really in the touching distance of Chimp, but in the touching distance of P3, and Chimp has a 3-second time penalty, which he can't get removed unless he got another warning. DC sends it on Gabby into turn 11. Charldinho, of course, is going to have a way better exit than Gabby, and he's ahead of P7, or sorry, in the P7, but Zink has the DRS, which doesn't play well for Charldinho. The team is going to be here for Alpine. Is going to be wholly dependent on DC, because DC has a pace, but Charldinho is on way better tires than DC. So, the best for Alpine and for Charldinho, which Charldinho sends it on DC into turn 15. Is DC going to let him go? It looks like that he lets him go. It was somewhat of a interesting move that he wanted to do, but DC saw it, thankfully, and didn't turn in on him. So Charldinho moves up to P6. Zink is right behind Gabby, so he's of course gonna have the DRS. Maybe Gabby's gonna be going a little bit slow on the exit. There's a whole bunch of lag. Someone left that G-Bone who is running in P11. There he was actually. Charldinho half spun going into turn 1, which slows down DC and Gabby, and Zink, who is in front of DC, and Charldinho, does he have front wing damage? Because I think there's contact between him and Hakaishin, I think. Well, DC is behind Zink and Gabby, which doesn't play well for the French constructor. Charldinho doesn't have broken front wing, at least that we can see. But I don't think he has it broken, because he's catching up to Hakaishin. So it's just a little bit of a step back, a slide, but now he's going to be trying to make 2 steps forwards and try and overtake Hakaishin into turn 12, side by side with him. Zing as well overtakes Gabby into turn 12. Charldinho is ahead of Hakaishin going into turn 12 on the exit of it, but his championship rival Zink is up to P7, and his teammate is down to P9, of course. Because what's happened between Charldinho and then DC just going slowly. Charldinho tried to make an overtake on Roden completely lost it on the exit, it looked like. And Hakaishin looks for a move, but he didn't want to go for it. But Charldinho sent it on Roden, I think, into turn 15. Well, he made it successful, but on the exit of it, Roden just looks like that he had no absolute grip. DC gets a 3-second time penalty as well. He's right behind Gabby, but you just cannot get him as Gabby loses the DRS on Zing, and DC tries to go for a move on Gabby. Gabby's gonna have the switchback, but he just loses on the exit, and he's now 1 second behind DC. DC is 1.5 seconds behind Zing, which for DC is now just praying and hoping that someone in front just loses it. Well, of course not Charldinho. Roden doesn't look like that he's gonna have the DRS on Charldinho though. No, I don't know at this point. Gabby gets the 3-second time, that's for sure. Charldinho is gonna be overtaking Dylan easily on this straight, and as it looks like, he's on net P1 because Illyrian is yet to pit. Chimp, who has a 3-second time penalty, has a 3-second time penalty as Hakaishin loses on the exit. G-Bone joins back in, but Hakaishin loses on the exit of turn 12, and Zink is up to P6 now, which again doesn't help Charldinho, but he's in net P1. Like I said, Illyrian yet to pit. Chimp has a 3-second time penalty, and Charldinho is just bloody quick on those mediums. Just the drives are needed to I guess wait a little bit to see when those are gonna be dropping off, but they're not gonna be dropping off that easily compared to the softs, as Charldinho is gonna be easily overtaking Illyrian into turn 1. Yeah, an easy overtake on Illyrian, and Illyrian doesn't even want to fight it at the moment, as it doesn't look like it. He's tucking behind Charldinho, but doesn't want to overtake him. DC as well overtakes Hakaishin on the exit of turn 1, and he's up to P7. Of course, Hakaishin doesn't have the DRS. Zink and Roadrunner side by side into the S's, and Zink will try to move, but he has to tuck in behind Roadrunner through the S's. Roadrunner has 3-lap older hards, which at the moment don't play out, and there's a safety car all of a sudden. What? Ah, well, that's not great. Great, not great for charldinho, I don't know. I know that's absolutely beautiful for Illyrian, and that's terrible for charldinho, because everyone is gonna be pitting for softs. I mean, you have to pit for softs in these conditions. You have to pit for softs. His advantage is absolutely dropping. Well, of course, Chimp in front, 3 seconds, but it's back to equal. It's back to equal, and Illyrian has a savior named Consti who goes to the safety car because he crashed his car and he has no front wing, and now he has completely crashed his car, so it would have been a safety car anyways. Chimp of course pits, charldinho pit, yes he pits. Illyrian of course pits, Illyrian, everyone should be pitting. If you stay out, you are dumb. Hekaishin pits, Gabby should pit. Everyone should pit. Tessa pits, tries to overtake him, Gabby into the pits. Ryan pits. JSTM is gonna be pitting unless Dylan goes for the mediums. Hekaishin goes for the mediums. Oh my god. Yeah, no. Oh, Ryan just missed the pits, I guess. And G-Bone's... Yeah, everyone goes into the pits. Everyone went into the pits. Although there are some interesting tire compounds chosen. Dylan for the mediums, Hekaishin for the mediums, Tessa for the mediums. K still hasn't changed his tires. G-Bone, 9 lap olds mediums his AI has chosen. Well, that's an AI, but the real drivers, as JCM gets a 5 second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit wide line. That's a 5 second time penalty for him, I guess. But everyone who is real and pitted, or everyone who is real, or who actually drives, and pitted for the mediums, it's not really a wise decision, I would say, because it's just that softs are not going to be dropping off that easily. I mean, it's going to be for the final lap of the race, really, where when the mediums might be at just a tiny bit faster, just a tiny bit, but that's a tiny bit. G-Bone is having a mass amount of troubles to stay in the session, I guess. I'm so surprised how his car hasn't been DSQ'd or DNF'd, but it's just crazy. But yeah, those who pitted for mediums, they're gonna be in slight trouble, which is Dylan, Hekaishin, and Tessa. They're gonna be in trouble for the first laps. Softs are gonna be absolutely rapid compared to the softs. Compared to the mediums, sorry. Softs are gonna be absolutely rapid compared to the mediums. Like, you're gonna be I don't know, a whole second faster than the mediums on the first lap alone. On the later laps, they're gonna be softs are gonna be slightly dropping, but to the final lap of the race, I think softs are still gonna be maybe equal to the mediums, or mediums are gonna be just about there, like just about faster than the softs. But I don't think it's a good thing. Kevin goes for the new softs. Just that one lap first softs, as Gabby gets a 5 second time for severe collision with DC. Interesting. DC now goes back into the back of Hekaishin slightly. But yeah, those car drivers, like I said again, like I'm saying for the third time, mediums are, in my opinion, they aren't the right choice. I don't think they are the right choice. I don't think. So yeah. There's gonna be about 7 laps to go, so softs should be easily to the end. Should be easily to the end. If Alpines went for the softs on the sprint, and they were projected to be finishing on P1 and P2, and DC just was completely fine on them, then I don't think the mediums are gonna be having anything. they're gonna be dropping down. Dylan, Hakash, and Gabby, G-Bone. They're gonna be all dropping down like a rock in when you throw a rock into water. It's gonna be like that. They're gonna be dropping. They're gonna be dropping anyways down. They drop anyways down. Maybe sometimes faster, sometimes slower. Maybe somehow they won't even drop, I don't know. Although to fair, rocks always drop down to the bottom of the water. Okay, anyways, safe to go in the pits. And oh boy, it's gonna be very interesting 7 laps. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very interesting. Hold on. There you go. Final sips. Drinks. Preparing my voice to be absolutely murdered. And then Chimp, when is he gonna be going on the already now? Yes, he's already going now. And does he get or catch Charldinho off guard? Slightly he does. Increases his gap to 7/10. Behind already JSTM down to P13. 12 as G-Bone goes into pits from those mediums. He's, well, that's you could say technically a drive through, you could say for him. But everything stays the same currently at the moment as DC goes wide and Gabby goes through ahead of DC. So not everything stayed the same. But mostly the same and not much of bigger changes. Dylan, of course, is going to be slow on those mediums. He's already 1 second down on Lyrian, who was given a second life in the race by Consti. Rodan is of course going to be trying to overtake Dylan as quickly as possible into turn 12. DC and Gabby side by side on the exit of turn 11 and on this main straight, but Gabby looks to be ahead. In the meantime, in the front, Charldinho goes for the race lead, and he's taking the race lead. He's in P1 from being lost on the opening lap to up it to P1. That's what Charldinho does, and we can only look, and the drivers that want Charldinho to succeed can only pray as Gabby drops down to P12 and Rotary drops out to P10. What has happened to them? Have they just lost it on the exit of turn 15? We can only think. But Zink is 1.4 seconds behind Dylan. Dylan is barely keeping up with the drivers ahead. Zink is of course going to be way faster than Dylan. Chip, of course, 3 seconds up, which doesn't help him at all, and he might have another the flipping warning at this point on as Rodan overtakes JSTM and Ryan gets overtaken by KA through. Yes, it's so close between them. There's a cyber contact as well, but KA is ahead of Ryan, and KA moves up to P12. Middle at the top, Charldinho building up already a 7/10 gap on Chimp. Chimp needs to catch up to Charldinho. I don't think he's gonna be able to even overtake him into turn 12, but he just needs to slightly catch up to him so that he can keep up with this 1 second for the next lap, literally next lap. For the same place, just next lap. Dylan is still somewhat keeping up with the drivers ahead somehow. Zink just can't get closer to Dylan. The gap stays over 1 second somehow. Kevin and KA fighting for P13 and P14. Somehow KA has dropped 2 positions to Ryan and Kevin now he's fighting with. And Kevin tries to go around the outside and he's gonna get a better exit probably. And yes, he does. And KA drops down 2 positions. From P12 to P14. Hakashi gets a 3 seconds up early, and as the DS comes online, and this is important for Charldinho to get away of Chimp's 1 second, and for Chimp it is the other way around. It's important for him to stay with Charldinho's 1 second, but maybe as well it's going to be very crucial for Charldinho to keep up, to keep Chimp within his 1 second, but just like in a very tight window where he can't overtake you. because then Zink is gonna have a very hard job to catch up to the drivers in front. Which, well, Illyrian is going to be helping that, of course. Zink, of course, is overtaking Dylan on the exit of turn 11. Zink gets a better exit than Dylan, and he's going to be easily ahead of Dylan on the main straight, ready on the middle of the straight side by side on, and before turn 12, he's already ahead. DC overtakes a caution as well before turn 12, and he moves up to P6 in the back. Not much different. Kevin, well, Ryan kind of moved to last second to the racing line, which is a little bit dangerous. Yes, Kevin was far away from Ryan, but still moving dangerously late on the braking zone. But still nothing much happening at the back as well. Well, Kevin is the closest driver to be to another car, but still, I don't think Kevin is going to be overtaking Ryan into turn 19 and turn 20 now, which he did into 19 and he did into 20, which you could say it's a very good thing, because then Ryan didn't lose it anyway, and Kevin didn't perform a terrorist attack on Ryan, as Kevin did his send on Ryan. No, he didn't. Chimp is still within that 1 second of Charldinho. Charldinho, I think, is still keeping up that gap around there. Chimp doesn't have that much ERS, or, well, Charldinho has double, or you could say at this point triple the amount of ERS what Chimp has. Chimp doesn't get at all a good exit out of turn 11. Goodness me, turn 11. He doesn't get at all good exit on the exit of turn 11. Zink has a DRS. Dylan doesn't have the DRS. Caution gets back DC into turn 12, and he moves up to P6. Charldinho still leading the Grand Prix. It will be an absolute amazing race, an absolute story for him, from being lost on lap 1 to be now winning the US Grand Prix here in Texas. It would have been absolutely amazing. JCM and Tessa, they're absolutely fighting here with Roder and Gabby through the right-hander. They're absolutely going at it, side by side between Roder and Tessa, and Roder gets a 3 seconds up and he pushes Tessa with him as well. Tessa sends it on Roder into turn 20, Roder goes wide. Tessa's gonna have the better exit on those mediums. Gabby has a very good POV of that, and Roder is probably gonna be sending it now on Tessa. Is he gonna take out as well? He completely goes into Tessa. He just completely takes him out and he retires. He just completely took Tessa out. Well, Tessa is still racing, but he just completely destroyed his dreams of getting, at all points, or at least somewhat compromising his result. He's down to P39, retires, which is completely understandable. Rodan just completely turned in on Tessa. It just looked like that Rodan just completely tried to take out Tessa. Although from his POV it kind of looked like that he got relocking, but I don't think I've ever got relocking that badly on a F1 car. That I just went straight. I don't think I got ever such bad relocking, as Illyrian doesn't get the greatest of exits through to turn 13 and 14, is outside of that 1 second window, and Zink is right behind him. 4 times behind him. Illyrian, of course, is going to be trying to get that DRS back, but he doesn't get back here. He's going to be, of course, trying to get it overall for the next straight, as Charldinho starts the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Chimp has a lot lower ERS compared to Charldinho, who has 60%. Zink is ahead of Illyrian going into turn 1. And this is very good for Zink, because now he's within that 3 second of Chimp, and I don't think Chimp and Charldinho are going to be getting away from Zink that easily to 3 second gap, as there's a whole bunch of lag. There goes Roadrunner, of course. Zink Is he gonna be able to get that DRS on Chimp? He's close, he's within that 9 seconds, but he loses it a little bit on the exit. But he uses a lot DRS on the exit, and he has the DRS on Chimp going into this next straight with the DRS. Chimp clearly doesn't get the grace of exits. He's on the outside of 1 second, but of course he has the DRS and uses everything that he has in the ERS department. Zink as well is closing in. Illyrian doesn't have the DRS. Right behind him is Dylan, who has the DRS. Hakaishin overtakes DC into turn 12. DC's kind of trying to get a switchback, but he just tucks in behind him. And Chimp is on the outside of that 1 second window to charldinho. charldinho uses his ERS. Hopefully he doesn't bin it through turn 16, 17 and 18. And Chimp is officially outside of that 1 second zone, outside of the DRS, so Zink can easily overtake him on the next, or not this straight, but the main straight, unless Zink gets a 3-second time penalty. Then it would be absolutely terrible for him, which he would lose a position to Illyrian. And Dylan, who's his hand sends it into turn 1 on Chimp, and he's up into P2 officially, and he's back up to P2 as well from being, well, lost in quali, pretty much lost in the sprint race, I think, somewhere around there, to now back up to P2, or being at the start of the sprint race, being lost somewhere around there, which the two title contender. Wait, what? charldinho got a 3 seconds. charldinho got a 3 seconds. Oh my goodness me! Zink can win this. When did charldinho get a 3 seconds? When did he get a 3 second? charldinho had an easy way to the finish flag. But now as well, Illyrian, who got a 3 second time penalty, Dylan overtakes him. What is happened? What? charldinho had a very easy cruise home to take victory here in US, but it completely gives the win to Zink. JCM overtakes Gabby into turn 12, and now into 13 he is easily ahead of him. Gabby's gonna, of course, no, he doesn't wanna just what? charldinho just completely bins it. charldinho just completely bins it. Zink is gonna take victory here in USA, in Texas. Dylan picks up P2, Chimp P3, charldinho P4. What an absolute bottle job from charldinho! Absolute bottle job from charldinho. He could have got an easy first place and taken the championship lead here in US. But he absolutely bottled it with a 3 second, which would drop him down to P2. And then he absolutely bottled it through the triple right-hander. And now he finishes in P4. What an absolute bottle job from charldinho. He doesn't finish even on the podium, which he was on that podium, a professional podium for like half the race. Well, at least 1/3. What the hell has happened to charldinho on that final lap? What the actual hell happened? Oh. Oh, so charldinho's car just all of a sudden just stopped, apparently. What? No. I mean, of course he's gonna get that P1 back. I think he or P2 technically. What? I mean, charldinho would have gotten anyway P2 with that 3 second time penalty. charldinho wins the Grand Prix, an extended championship lead over charldinho. charldinho is probably gonna get that P2 reinstated to him Um, I don't know. I mean, it was so late in the race that I think he would just get that P2 reinstated. It was just so late in the race. I mean, it was 2 corners to go, and I don't think he would have bottled that anyways. He would have just taken in those corners easily. Drive of the day. I mean, who can I take? I mean, of course there's charldinho, and of course I'm gonna take him. I mean, he was going for P1, and he did bottle it to finish in P2. Well, on track P4, but I think he's gonna get that P4 reinstated, P2 reinstated. I mean, he was lost on the opening lap, and then just finishing the race in P1, or he would have gotten a P1, but of course, circumstances. So charldinho, of course, is my driver of the day for the driver of the day. Next week, of course, is gonna be Singapore. Apparently it's supposed to be raining. Apparently it's supposed to be raining for Singapore, so it's gonna be very interesting, of course. For me, a lot better, because I could just chill, relax, and just talk about when the drivers are just suffering. That's what I like to do. But yeah, next week is Singapore. Zing is going to be taking the championship lead, of course, or extending his championship lead. So yeah, see you on Friday with F2, but on F1, see you next week. Ciao. And as well, no sprint races to go.